I was just wondering how you got involved and how, one, about your music background, if you'll share a little bit about that, and also if you'll share a little bit about what the business role of being a musician is to you.
All right. Well, thanks again for having me. So how I got started was at the age of 8 or 7. I asked my mom I wanted to play saxophone because I saw Al, a character on Sesame Street that played a mean saxophone, and she didn't believe me. So a year went by, and I told her I still wanted to play. So she ended up giving me a saxophone from a teacher that actually would teach me in the area, and when nobody else would. And so I started playing when I was 8 in the 3rd grade, playing saxophone alto, and then went from alto saxophone to tenor saxophone. Went to school for it, and it opened my world to traveling to great places in the world. Went on tour with some local bands, and just kind of made my way in the world, being an educator, private teacher, performing musician, and also definitely a businesswoman. Finding the business within my career is interesting because you really have to just go out there. You have to seek out the talent. You may have, like, getting your portfolio together and having your curriculum vitae and, your website. That's a part of it. But definitely networking and seeing people face-to-face and eye-to-eye saying, hey, let's have a conversation, let's network. How can I improve your business, and how can we make this a great thing? So it took a lot of that, just kind of networking to keep within the game, if you will.
Right. And do you think that you've been in a place where you feel financially comfortable, or would a program like LoanWell that helps businesses get financing from their friends help you? Or have you found yourself already going out to a lot of your friends and finding support from them when you need it? Or would you agree with Bernard that a more formal kind of way of doing that might be beneficial to you?
I think that reaching out to everyone is always a good thing. So if there's a program that's going to benefit businesses, and especially small businesses, then I'm definitely for it. So I do find it to be beneficial.
Oh, good.
Co-sign. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we found you another customer already.
Hey, send me the information.
So, Serena, what brought you from? Where did you first start playing at, Serena? Because you mentioned that you started playing in the 3rd grade off of a Sesame Street character. I'm trying to remember which Sesame Street character played the saxophone. I'm sure that it'll come to me as soon as you tell me, but I don't remember there being a saxophone playing character on Sesame Street. But maybe they came after many years after I had stopped watching Sesame Street. But I don't was wondering if you knew who that character was and everything, and also how you got from whatever town you grew up in, and you have to remind me where that is, to getting to study here in this area and what that was like.
Certainly. Two to the Aisle. He was the character that played the tenor sax, and I do believe Frank Foster may have been had to play something of that nature. I'm not really certain who the special guest artist was, but they played a mean saxophone, and I was all for it. I grew up in McLeansville, North Carolina, a rural town close to Greensboro. I went to A&T for 2 years, from 2000 to 2002. A friend of mine that I was in the marching band at the time, he said, you heard me playing outside one day. He said, you play jazz? You need to go to North Carolina Central. Well, he just said Central at that time. And so I said, okay. So I transferred, and it really opened my world. At that point in time, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University was not, their music program wasn't that flourishing as it is now, especially in the area of jazz. And so it just transferring to Central really kept me in line with my private instruction, and it just showed me a lot more about the jazz history, breaking down jazz chords, and realizing that this is really a science in music, science and sound that we're using. It's a pretty powerful experience.
And I think a lot of people forget that is the relationship between science and music, because you're right. Music is definitely very much tied into science, and even the ways that we play music and things of that nature, and the way that people play their instruments, and the way that the body works with whether it's the instrument or whether it's the vocals. But you're right. Mm-hmm. I think people sometimes forget the science aspect of music, and you actually say that is part of what they were teaching you at Central.
Yeah, and later, they taught me the fundamentals, And a lot of it, sometimes when you're teaching a college course, you can't really delve into it unless it's really fully a major. And even then, you still kind of get information, but it's up to the learner to, take it a step further. So I found that out because now I'm teaching at a college, actually, in Lewisburg College in Lewisburg, North Carolina, which is about maybe 30 or 40 minutes from Durham, north of Durham. And I find that teaching in the music appreciation course, I can skim over certain things, but the educator in me wants to, stick on one point and show them, hey, this is really great information. Why not, we delve into it? But, and I'm realizing that you just kind of take it a step further once you get the education, just kind of keep on learning. A life student, that's who I am.
Exactly. And what's it been like teaching a music appreciation course? Because a lot of times people, when they hear those appreciation courses, they kind of like, for lack of a better term, they almost stereotype them as being an easy course. I don't care whether it's art appreciation or music appreciation or whatever. But I know for a fact, because I remember when I was in school taking an art appreciation course, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not the best person in terms of memory of dates. And that's one of the things that they required in art appreciation. They didn't want you just to know that, that there was a period of something called Dadaism, or that Picasso was born on this particular year, or that Michelangelo painted this particular picture. They wanted you to know, one, who influenced him, and two, what year it was. So me in that course, I did manage to get a passing grade, but I am not going to lie, those dates and memories was not always the easiest thing for me to do. And I'm imagining that that's part of what you're doing, because a lot of people, when they think of jazz, they don't even necessarily think about the connection of jazz to some of our other music. I mean, jazz and gospel are definitely tied together, but I would even argue that even some of our hip-hop artists that are good hip-hop artists have an understanding of jazz, because some of their chords that they are playing have some jazz background in it. And I was wondering if that's part of what you even explain in your course, is some of the ways that the musics relate to each other.
For sure. I just started January 2019, so I'm a newbie on the campus. I had my share of concerts, not really full on concerts, because I'm kind of restructuring the program right now. And so, I followed a book for a little bit, but then there was someone asking me to be a part of the African American reading, and it was actually called an African American read-in. And what I did was I said, well, I have a full music appreciation class, so I'll teach individual classes, of course, there's a number of 4 or 5 courses, polyrhythms. And so I taught them music, and then I had them reflect on it, and they learned something that they've never done before. Not all of them were privy to playing an instrument, and that got them out of their comfort zone. So I'm kind of combining performance and book knowledge to help out the student. And that's one thing that we kind of focus on. Is the main thing is keeping students engaged, and if they can't have any engagement, then their mind wanders. And in this technology age, you kind of gotta I guess approach education differently. And so I've done that, and I'm continuing to do that. I actually will start June 19th teaching a 3-hour course for 4 days a week, music appreciation. So I have edit where I can combine performance with book knowledge and listening and a lot of visual learning. So it's a good start. I'm off to a good start.
Sounds like it. And what you mentioned earlier, some of the performances and also coming to Central. Who were some of the people that personally inspired you, as well as some of the places that you enjoyed performing at? I know for a fact that Central and the band has gone to places like Montreux and other places. I don't know which ones you went to, but what were some of the ones that you really enjoyed?
Well, for people, my dad inspired me. I didn't know that he played it until after I received my saxophone, and that was 86 or 87. I can't, whatever time it was. But then I realized he was a musician, so I knew that it was in me to be a musician, and it is in me to be a musician. But then, in school, I've always had great teachers. So from my band directors to, current, I guess, the recent schooling of Dr. Wiggins, and he's the director of director of jazz studies at Central. So he was really inspirational. A lot of music that I listen to, kind of that breaks the mold of or connects jazz of hip hop or jazz or pop, like Robert Glasper. I like his music. I like what he's doing in Bridging the Gap. I did have an opportunity to study with Branford Marcellus, and so what he taught me was really invaluable. Just kind of go in the lesson knowing what you want to do instead of having somebody tell you what to do. It really makes for a better lesson. And so that was a really good lesson for me to put in my put in my bucket. But just kind of life. I'm inspired by a lot of things, and so it just doesn't stop at the music. But maybe having a conversation with somebody can inspire me to write. Because I also compose music and I also write poetry, so it's just all encompassing.
Wow, I don't even think I knew that about you, about the poetry and everything. I knew about the playing.
Oh, yeah.
So have you incorporated that? And do you have any? I believe you have a CD out of your own right now, or do you have more than one?
An EP.
Or that still?
Well,
what was it again?
I have an EP entitled "The Light Under the Sun," featuring Serena Wiley. And it's on my website at serenawiley.com, and it's also on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and it's just a combination of a culmination of 4 songs. On my website is actually 4 songs, and in between those 4 songs are just like short poems that connect the songs. But I'm selling the songs separately on Amazon, so you can definitely go on there. I perform locally, so I do perform in a band that entitled Dream Root, and so it's just a full pack band of maybe 4 or 5 musicians that we just play original music. We kind of put twist on cover songs, and we really are at the very base of core of our group, jazz or trained musicians that really bring the music alive. So hopefully you can check out one of our shows one of these days.
And do you have any shows coming up anytime in the near future?
Speaking of, yes, at Beer Study, I'm performing the last Wednesday of this month, from 7 to 9 p.m. and it's the one in Durham, Beer Study in Durham. So if you can, just come on out.
So folks can see the band perform at Beer Study on the last Wednesday of this particular month. So, and are there any other places that you're playing?
Yes, and I've got on June 19th at the Pinhook. I'll be playing with Dream Root. Well, Dream Root is a band that I'm playing in, and we're going to be opening up for the Oblation. So it should be a really good night. So come on.
Open up on it. We'll definitely try to make it through to that and everything. So don't go anywhere. I got to bring Joe in as well, and I might have one other caller coming in. But before we get to Joe, I want to get back to Bernard. Bernard, if Serena's listening and needs help with financials and everything, and we'll bring Joe in. He may need some help with financing too. How can folks reach LoanWell? And really quickly, because, can't mention a worthy without mentioning the connection to James. And so those are the 2 questions.
Yeah. So you can find LoanWell at loanwell.com, LoanWell.com. And feel free to reach out to me, Bernard, Bernard, at loanwell.com. We'd love to follow up with anybody that's interested. And I'll make one quick plug. We have a brand new product that we're releasing for nonprofit lenders, so credit unions and below. And it's the same loan management system that we have on our main site, but more catered for the enterprise. And so we have a couple new clients that we're excited to be helping out. And if we can help nonprofit lenders be more efficient and close more deals and help more small businesses get more affordable financing, then we're doing the right work towards our mission. But and Serena, I was just gonna say, I played trumpet for 6 years. Grew up in a church playing, and so yeah, I'm excited to. I'm right down the street from Beer Study. I gotta come check you out.
Oh, good. Yay, that sounds good. Can you provide me the name of it again? Can you spell it out again?
I'm sorry. Oh, LoanWell. LoanWell.
Okay.
Oh, one word.
Got it.
Yep. So the James Worthy, of course, the James Worthy connection. So so Dean, do you have a Worthy connection as well? Are you connected to the Worthy family?
No, I'm not. I just remember when he was rocking down there at UNC with his, and then went on to Showtime. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, he and my dad